I'm consistent with my posting. I think my video quality is getting better. I'm trying, new editing skills. I'm trying to fix my lighting. I'm trying to make my space more appealing, myself more appealing, try to be myself more on camera, and all that good stuff, all the good advice that you get from persons when you watch YouTube videos. And still, my channel isn't growing really quickly. I'm stuck. So, I have a problem with AuthorTube, and I think I'm finally ready to talk about it. Hi guys, Janisha here. I make content here on YouTube about my writing journey as I aspire to become a full-time author. If you're new to my channel, hi, hello. And if you're a returning customer, welcome back. Okay, so it's been a minute since I've done a sit down and talk to you video. I think the last time I did was a chit chat video about imposter syndrome while we got ready to go to a baby shower. Yeah, that's the last one I did, which I think was last October, November, something like that. But today I'm here to talk about my AuthorTube woes, my qualms with this community. I'm making it sound a lot more dramatic than it really is, because it's not that dramatic. It's just something that I've noticed about AuthorTube that really and truly has been feeding into my own imposter syndrome surrounding being an author and a writer and being a part of this community. Now, I made my first video on AuthorTube on March 11th, 2021. Hi guys, I'm Janisha and welcome back to my channel. And if you haven't been here before, well, hi, hello. Okay, so today I'm gonna be doing the author newbie tag, since, well, I'm a newbie author. And I'm gonna just be answering a few questions of things that you might be wondering and things that I just want you to know. I was consistent for a good long while, for a few months after that, and then I got sick and I fell off the face of AuthorTube earth. And then I came back to AuthorTube in September 2022, which was just last year, and I've been pretty consistent ever since, except for in December when I was having some internet issues and just couldn't upload any videos. Besides that, I think I've been pretty consistent, and I've been trying out new things on my channel, like posting shorts and even engaging in the community section, which I didn't even know that I had access to. That's another story altogether. Anyhow, let's get into the meat of my matter. So I've technically been on AuthorTube for a little bit over 2 years. However, I've been a part of the community watching AuthorTube videos since about 2018, maybe 2017. I think the first video I ever watched was a Jenna Morrissey video, and it was a writing tip video. I don't remember which one it was, but that's about how long I've been engaging in this community. And I think that even if I hadn't ever decided to start writing my own book, that I would still love to be a part of this community, because I love all things writing. I love listening to people talking about their writing journeys. I love watching writing vlogs, etc. So I really love this community. However, there's something I've noticed about this community, and I think maybe others of you have noticed it as well. If you have, you can let me know in the comments section. AuthorTube is a very sci-fi, fantasy, YA dominated space. So I don't know if it's just the content creators that I watch, but most of them write high fantasy or maybe even low fantasy, adult or young adult fiction. And I know some people do write regular young adult fiction, like romance or just adventure, but for the most part it's sci-fi and fantasy. Now, I have no problems with sci-fi fantasy, except for the fact that I am not much of a sci-fi fantasy reader. I don't have any issues with the genre. I don't dislike it. I don't particularly like it, but that's because I don't really read it. It's not my cup of tea. Especially high fantasy, it's a lot to get into, and sometimes I feel like fantasy kind of just stresses my brain just a little bit, and I like the escape of reading, and so I gravitate more towards romance and even more specifically romantic suspense, which is what I write. But my problem is that there aren't many romance writers in AuthorTube. There aren't many or if there are at all romantic suspense writers in AuthorTube. And so sometimes I'm watching content and I feel a bit of a disconnect, especially when we're talking about things like world building and magic systems, etc. Not saying that I don't have to do world building when writing a romantic suspense novel, because obviously every novel has some level of world building in it. It might not be as dramatic or as structured as a high fantasy novel where you need to know what every single thing is, but in my small towns I need to know where the doctor is and the library and the cafe and etc, etc. So there is still some levels of world building. It's just not as significant as in fantasy books. All of that to say, basically, is that sometimes I feel like an imposter in this community. I feel disconnected sometimes to persons in this community because I feel like we can't talk about the same things. And I don't know if that's just me and my own personal insecurities that is making themselves present in my interactions in this community, but that's how I feel sometimes, that I don't have anything to talk about with other author-tubers, and that there's already a disconnect where culture is concerned, because I'm from the Caribbean, I live in the Caribbean, and the majority of author-tubers are either in the US or Canada, and a couple of them that I know, like Emma, is in the UK, right? But there's already a cultural difference, and there is a cultural barrier, I think, sometimes in communication. And I don't know if it's that I just don't know how to reach out to other author tubers, or if we just don't have anything in common outside of writing. I don't know what it is, but sometimes that's how I feel. And I just wanted to have a conversation about it because I'm certain that there are lots of other people on the platform that feel that way. And sometimes I think that because of the fact that I'm writing romantic suspense and I can't find anybody else on AuthorTube that's writing romantic suspense, which might be an indication that there's not really much avenue for romantic suspense authors in YouTube, or persons coming on YouTube to find information about writing romantic suspense, then it might be a reason why my channel isn't growing as much as I would like it to, because I'm consistent with my posting. I think my video quality is getting better because I'm trying, new editing skills. I'm trying to fix my lighting. I'm trying to make my space more appealing, myself more appealing, try to be myself more on camera, and all that good stuff, that all the good advice that you get from persons when you watch YouTube videos, and those content creators that make content about growing your channel, etc. And still my channel isn't growing really quickly. I'm stuck. I would really like to see it grow, but I don't just do it for the growth. I do it because I genuinely love to document my own writing journey, although it's sometimes haphazard and it's not always consistent. I like documenting my journey. I love coming on here and watching other people's journeys. But sometimes I wonder if the disconnect between the types of genres that we're writing on the platform plays a fact in the results that I see. And that also makes me feel like an imposter. It makes me feel like I'm trying to squeeze myself into a space that isn't necessarily created for me. I'm hoping that it's just a me thing and it's just a mind thing, because I'm still going to continue making content. I'm still going to continue to be consistent. I love the discipline that being consistent on YouTube has brought to my personal life and to my writing life. And I really appreciate that. And I love watching my videos back and being like, ooh, I was so happy when I made it to 25,000 words, or when I made it to 10,000 words. Oh, I remember the time that I went to the Asian restaurant and I had dinner and wrote by myself. All of that stuff is nostalgic for me. It's going to be a big part of my writing journey and what I'm able to look back on in the future. But sometimes the lack of growth, and then also feeling like maybe this isn't a platform for me, is a little discouraging, it's a little demotivating. And I don't know if it's that romantic suspense is just not that popular of a genre for social media. I don't know if that makes sense, but it could be. It could be. I would love to make more connections with author tubers, not just those who write in the genre as myself, but persons my age, persons older. I know there are few author tubers who write different genres. I think Emma Bennett writes a different genre than just sci-fi. She writes romance, and there's also the Courtney Project, which is Courtney, writing as Lyra Parrish, and also one half of the duo Kennedy Fox. She writes, I think, strictly romance, and I know those two, but I'm not familiar with anybody else who doesn't write fantasy or sci-fi. And this has been very long and rambly, and I guess I'm just getting my thoughts out and what I think about the topic in general, because I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing that there are lots of sci-fi and fantasy writers on AuthorTube. The more the merrier. I just love watching everybody's content. I love watching everybody's tip videos. I love watching everybody's writing vlogs and seeing everybody winning their goals, their writing goals, seeing people winning NaNoWriMo and Camp NaNoWriMo, following their journeys, all that stuff. I just love it. It's just that sometimes I feel like maybe there isn't an audience here for me. And then sometimes I think that the YouTube algorithm just may not be picking me up. Maybe because I live in Antigua and there aren't many Antiguan YouTubers anyhow. And so the algorithm picks up persons who live in maybe bigger countries. I don't know. What do you think? I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think that there's a space here on AuthorTube for romantic suspense authors, or just romance authors in general, who haven't actually published yet and are still going through the process of writing their first book, drafting, editing, maybe getting beta readers and all that kind of stuff, and haven't actually published a book yet? Because the authors that I mentioned earlier, Emma and Courtney, are both published authors, and Courtney is a very, very successful published author. So I'm not certain if the difference in our journeys and the state of our journeys factors into whether or not we are successful on YouTube or we are able to cultivate a growing audience on YouTube. I'm not certain what it is, but I want to hear what you think. Are you interested in romantic suspense content and what it takes to be a romantic suspense author? I'm not just someone who writes romantic suspense. I'm also a pantser. I'm a discovery writer, which can be a little bit difficult when you're trying to sprinkle in breadcrumbs about who the killer is, throughout the story. But I've been making it work, and I find it easier for me to do that than to plot. Otherwise, I get pretty sick of the story before I even start writing it. That's a conversation for another time. Yeah, I just want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? And what genre do you write? Are you a part of the AuthorTube community? Are you just a viewer of the AuthorTube community? Are you a writer but just not a content creator, and you just love to come on here and follow other writers' journeys and get tips on writing or things that we've learned along the way, etc., etc.? Or are you actually a writer and author tuber creating content here on YouTube? What kind of content do you create, and what kind of content do you like to watch? I know that's a lot of questions, but yeah, I'm gonna put them all in the description so you can read the questions and respond in the comment section if you'd like to. So thanks for watching this video, guys. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Bye. Okay, guys, I've come to the end of my, little rant. It wasn't really a rant, just a thought process that I was sharing with you guys. So I've come to the end of that, and I just want to say thanks for giving me the space and the leverage to do that. I want to ask you guys to be nice in the comment section. I didn't mean anything that I said in this video negatively or to be offensive or anything like that. So if I did offend, I'm very sorry. I'm curious from my own personal experience and things that I've noticed on AuthorTube. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. These people are opening doors and closing doors. All of a sudden, it was so, hi.